Na mocy dekretu Rady Państwa z dnia 13 grudnia 1981 roku o stanie wojennym internowano grupę ekstremalnych działaczy Solidarności oraz nielegalnych organizacji antypaństwowych.
Myśmy zamachnęli się na najsilniejszy system świata, no i ten system na razie wygrywa, no, że to normalne, że nie nasadzają.
Myśmy się przede wszystkim zastanawiali, jak dalej będziemy funkcjonować, jak dalej będziemy żyć.
So the movie that I liked best, that I really thought was terrific, is Mundial, The Highest Stakes, which is about the 1982 Polish World Cup team, which did better than any other Polish team in the Cup. They got to the semis and they ended up finishing third. And it came about.
Did you notice, by the way, not to interrupt you, but they were awarded these silver medals?
Yeah, I don't know.
For third place? I didn't understand
I assumed that was just wrong, or that I thought, okay, there's something I obviously don't know.
No, but they were actually silver.
I didn't notice
understand
that. I guess you get the silver for third, and I don't know what you get for. I don't know what you get for second. We'll have to look that up.
A rose.
But it comes about while martial law was imposed in Poland, when the government cracked down on sort of the spring that Poland had in the early part of 1981.
That they were completely shut down. They had curfews and no cars.
Yeah, and they shut down
the
Solidarity movement, or tried to shut down the Solidarity movement. In 18 months of martial law, and these dissidents, these really brave dissidents, dragged into prison, locked up without charges, kept from their families, and debating. And they're all huge soccer fans, and debating whether it's okay to watch the World Cup. And I loved the idea of that debate because, of course, the World Cup guys get trotted in front of General Jaruzelski, and so they feel like, well, if I watch the World Cup, am I supporting the state? Is this the state? The military leaders in Poland wanted World Cup success more than anybody because they thought ultimately, if we do well in the World Cup, it'll calm everybody down here. And they feared, worst case scenario, that if they didn't crack down in Poland, that they'd be looking at a Soviet invasion. I mean, that said, I don't really buy anything that these guys say. But I do believe
the detainees?
No. The leaders, when they said that they feared, the reason they did the imposed martial laws because they feared the Soviets coming in.
Yeah.
But I liked that the detainees eventually were like, yeah, we're going to have to watch the World Cup. Like, we can't, not.
However, there were some that did not watch.
I know, but it was too important to them. It was overall, it was too important to them, and it brought them together, and it brought the entire country together, and ultimately, of course, because the World Cup's in Spain, the Polish authorities couldn't do anything about the signage there. So I love I love the part. Well, they're just getting one feed of the World Cup, but they can. So I love that they edited.
They cut to German fans and Brazilian fans
from other games.
Yeah, from other games.
Yeah. So when Poland has its dramatic second round, they did the World Cup differently back then. But when in their second round group included the Soviet Union, and they played them to a 0-0 draw. Thank you. That guaranteed a berth in the semifinals.
Yes.
So it's red and white on both sides, and so they'd cut to fans wearing green. Like, it's clownish, but that's the kind of thing.
But they took it as such an insult, as well they should, because there were those banners up there, solidarity, and all the fans were chanting it and everything. I mean, it was something that the TV cameras and the guards simply couldn't run away from.
I know, but the government couldn't. I just love that they just show you how clownish martial law is. They're like, no, don't worry about it. We'll just show other fans. No one will know. Yeah, everybody knew. And eventually they stopped doing it, maybe even during the game with the
red
USSR.
Red and white, green and yellow.
Green and yellow, black and tan. Yeah, it's not happening. So I thought it was moving. They had a lot of the participants there involved, both dissidents and players involved in the documentary. I thought it was good. I learned a lot. I didn't realize that the '82 World Cup team in Poland meant so much to the country and had such an important place in recent, or at least in Polish sporting history. So I liked it a lot. It was powerful.
One part that was incredibly powerful, and I thought could have been another story written within this story, was that when they were receiving their handshakes from who did you say the
General Jaruzelski.
General Jaruzelski. When he shook their hands, they realized that, you know what, they need to play abroad. They wanted to at least, I mean, their key player went to Juventus in Italy, so in Serie A. So
Boniek, right? Wasn't that his name?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Boniek. So they shook the hands of the guys. I thought right there, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Because one of them is going to stand up and refuse it. Because we were talking about the rebels of football, how it takes one.
It wasn't so much they refused the handshake, but say something about the dissidents, say something about the
Any
movement.
act whatsoever is what I was thinking. Oh, this is going to be good.
Right, but they
Someone's gonna
didn't.
say
They
something,
didn't.
but
They all, you know, and all it would have done is almost certainly put them and their families in harm's way. And as
Did
it
you not get that thought at all, though?
No,
That
sure.
that might have been coming?
I thought somebody might.
Yeah.
It's tough. They were in I liked that the dissidents were like, they get a pass. They were in an unwinnable situation there, and they'd done so much already.
Yes.
So anyway, I thought it was a very powerful movie, and I hope it does well at the festival, and I hope a lot of people see it.